Patty here. I can't wait to show you what I've inherited from my great aunt. It's a suitcase of all of her travel ephemera when she was a teacher and then later became a principal from 1930s to the 1970s. Here is her student travel club and her itinerary of tours that she has been on. Just one of the many. She's been to Romania, different hotels, just a plain little green tag that I think is just really cool. Here, Hong Kong postcards, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and postcards to go with it. I love the way they fold in and out of this little card packet. The Pearl King, and I've got postcards to go with the Pearl King and how they collected the pearls. A castle that she had gone to. Tokyo, Japan. This is a garden that she visited, and it talks about a restaurant that she had ate at. Here she was at Hong Kong. This is one of my favorites. And it talks about spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And then it has these beautiful women on it that are those different seasons. Taiwan. My mind is just going crazy with all the different things that you could do with these pieces. Here's an itinerary visiting Lebanon. And her hotel and mailing list and the dates that she was going to go. A whole bunch of ephemera from different motels. I've got a few of these on my Etsy site already. Hotel tag. This letter is from a friend, and she is talking about when they went around the world tour and there was 18 people. And on this tour, when she goes, there's going to be 23 people. Budapest, Japan Airlines, Bangkok. A travel to Africa and the itinerary and the dates that she's going to be gone. She's June through August because that's when she is out of school and teaching. And here we've got a national park that she was at. This is a flyer on Israel when she had gone to Israel. More tags. Postcards. Hong Kong. Pictures of her and her tour friends. India. Singapore. Oh, I would love to go to this raw silk company. How fun would that be? Stockholm, London, West Africa, India, Japan, Africa. Now that's a neat tag with that giraffe. And oh, the hotel information. This is the room she stayed in, 622 in Japan. And Madrid, another Japan. Portugal, Air India, Stockholm. I can't pronounce some of these places that she was at. Egypt. Maracay, New Africa, Rome, New Zealand. Now here is some of her journals, and they date back to different days and years that she had traveled and where she had gone and places and things that she did. traveling abroad. I mean, this is back in the 30s, and this is what a travel journal really was. This is the one that is dated back in 1930, where she did a cruise on the SS Scythia back in 1930. I have one that is dated 1936. I scanned the cover of this. Look at how the book is bound and the webbing. I plan to scan every page of these so they will be available to you to use in your journaling and making your journals. Hotel Japan, Mariquois. Here we've got a cruise to Rotterdam, and it only cost her $456.45. This paper is really old. That's why I've got to get them all scanned. You can hardly see this one with her hand-wrote notes and where she's going. Look at this tag. It's on like rice paper. So thin. This was back in 1962, this trip. On my Instagram site, I've taken several pictures of these. Usually she will date the first page. This one was June 27th of 1968. And so then you have to look at it to see where she's gone. And here's a card from someone that sent her, "Dear Miss, when I count my blessings, I want to thank you again and again for being my principal. You were always ready to make suggestions and to guide me when I slipped off the narrow path." Here's another record book. I took some of just the pages, like 100 and 101, because how neat are these pages, just an old book. I think the blank pages are cool too. Just look at the aging on these. Okay, so I can get a little carried away with looking at this stuff. This one is 1965 to 66. This is on the back of the book. And the papers are real thin here, so I'm having troubles scanning these pages because it bleeds through on the back side. But I'm going to figure it out. Still got the little pencil in it. Oh, I see. It goes both directions. Look at that. Here's what she spent on her trip, $57 and different things for people. One of the journals even has my name listed in it on what she was going to get me when she was on her trip, because then she was coming out to the States to see us afterwards. Here we are, and well, I know it's 1964 because it was not 2,964, but we have a little typo. Discover the Pacifica. Look at these little pictures. These are all pictures that she's taken. Her medical health department when she was entering Hong Kong. A travel book, more of the paper of her notes of what she was going to do and how she was going to get there. And Romania's ruins, spectacular. So she's underlined some of the different places. Just an old envelope. More ephemera. Egypt. Coasters for your cup. Here's a card. Here's a guidebook. Old newspaper and newspaper articles, backdated 1976, of camels and more of the pearls. I think the paper is just neat on this. Hong Kong, dated 1970. Who's rooming with who list and where they're going. Translation of Hebrew letter. Oh, this one I've got scanned, but I haven't got it put on my Etsy site yet. It's a camel drivers, and see, it's got remember and how sneaky they were. Travel editor's diary of when visiting Kenya. Egypt, a modern spink, and it talks about remember us walking here and how hot it was. The shrine and books and its scrolls, and there's always little pieces of paper stuck inside of each one of them, so you have to go through each one and read it. And this is no report on my summer, but just to tell some of the things I saw and heard and felt. And this is done on another rice paper where she's typed it out. One of the ephemera pieces I have is a typing sheet that she had typed up, and it listed how much it cost for the printing and how, well, they didn't print, they actually had to type and use carbon copies for printing each piece. Now we get into all the beautiful postcards, hand paintings. Just beautiful. The detail. The postcards. Pictures of her and her friends on their trips. A little village that she had probably went to see. A boarding pass for the cruise ship. Look how many rooms this cruise ship had. Can you imagine nowadays the cruise ships that we have? Here's a card for playing games, table 1, couple 2, and her scores that she had. Even though my mom says she did not play games, which my sister inherited, but asked to come for special tailoring in Hong Kong. And it also has the conversion table for US dollars to Hong Kong dollars. To my grandmother from my aunt, and it was talking about some of her trips and how come she hadn't heard from any of her relatives. A little Ripley's Believe It or Not. Just a little tiny Berlin tag. A cute little poem. This another very thin paper ephemera. Here is an opera ticket. More just little pieces in Rome. Stamps. We've got, oh, this little ticket. Beautiful postcards from all over Japan and Hong Kong. Her on her, a picture of her and her friends. Some are even from the States. Look at that hand-painted one. Just beautiful. Can you just think of the things that you could do with these? Sound and Light, a pageant that she had gone to. Republic of South Africa, maps. American Safari, she had gone on a safari. And last we have here Lost City of the Incas, dated back in '67. And I can't wait to share them with you. Thanks for watching.